YT homies, it's your girl Alethea coming back with another video. And in this video, okay, I always gotta eat something always happens in my intro. What's up, my YT homies? It's your girl Alethea coming back with another video. And in this video, as you guys can tell from the title, this is a video showcasing the light and the dark Natasha Denona palettes. So if you would like to see this look that I created using this palette and hear my final thoughts on, not this palette, these palettes, and hear my final thoughts on these palettes, then please continue to watch. All right, guys, so with this new little setup, I need baskets. I need something to hold my stuff. I mean, I have some things in this basket right here, and I get them out of this basket, but then I have other things that are just laying on this little table that I'm using, and it's bothering my soul. So it's one of those, what do you call it, folding tray tables that I'm using currently. So yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and get this party started. So you guys know, as I'm going to say in the intro, that I am testing out the Natasha Denona palettes. I have the light palette, the dark palette. So we're gonna give both of these a try and see how they are. I have seen several videos of people testing them out and doing a side-by-side to see how they are. Y'all, I'm trying to get my stuff in place, but doing a side-by-side to see how they are, and I am going to go ahead and join them with the side-by-side. At first I was going to do two separate videos, but I'm going to do the side-by-side. So let me open these up because they've just been sitting here authentically waiting on me to do this video. So this one is the light palette. Now, one thing I'm going to point out, because I can't get it out of my head, I saw it on Kelsey Brianna J's channel where she pointed out how the colors here are not in the same order on each palette. It does have a mirror. Oh, so it's very, very frosted. See how frosted that is? You can't even see. Then it has a little tab to where you can take it off. Ah! I'm about to tear this shit up already. So there's oh, I'm loving this mirror. So in this one right here, people say that this cream blush, you have to kind of get the first top layer off, but this is the cream blush and this is the highlight, and this is how the colors are. Let's see. You have inner corner. So like I said, this is the inner corner, transition, crease, outer corner, and smoke. And this palette, these palettes, not this palette, but these palettes are, of course, basic, neutral, everyday palettes. I know that the everyday girl could definitely use these palettes and get her a good look. And so here's the dark one. So let's look at the color. See how the color of the casings, the dark and the light, how the colors are. And then we have, now let me look at this. I saw a video where, in some videos I haven't, it just doesn't look the same, but I saw a video where this girl said that the cream blush, and I don't remember her name, when I was looking up this palette, looking at looks for this palette, she said that the cream blush and the highlight in each one are the same, and they are not. Now, both of them do say Star Glow and cream blush, and maybe because it said Star Glow, she assumed that they were the same color, but this blush and this highlight are definitely, the blush and the highlights in both palettes are definitely different. Look, let's see if you can see. The one in the dark palette is a little bit darker, and this to me, this highlight screams neutral and this highlight screams gold. So they're definitely not the same. But let's see, let me see if I can see. Okay, so I can see what Kelsey was talking about. So let me show you. In this palette you have the outer corner, transition, smoke, inner corner, and crease. So in the other one, this is the inner corner, transition is in the same spot, smoke is over here, crease is here, and outer corner is here. So they have the outer corner, inner corner transverse, and then the smoke and the crease transverse. All right, so let's start with the dark side. So I'm gonna do the same thing on both sides, but first, Lord, let me start with the dark side. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing I normally would, and I'm going to use my paint pots. I have been using the paint pot. At first I was using just my concealer, but I have been using my paint pot as of late to prime my lids. And so that's what I'm going to do now. Use my paint pot. Baby. Alright, so let's start off with the crease color. Now I've seen where people have kind of strayed away from following the guidelines, and you know how I'm one of those people that is a proponent for going outside the lines, for going against the grain. However, with this palette, I am going to stick with, for this look at least, I'm going to stick with the coloring. I'm going to stick with what's on the palette. So I'm going to go in with this Sedona Lace EB09 brush. And I'm going to just go ahead with the transition color, and we can definitely see right off the bat, or at least I can see, you know, right here the transition. The transition color is definitely darker. I've been going nowhere lately. It's time to start all over and go for it. 'Cause they don't even know me yet. But that's something I don't regret. Every night I close my eyes and see only lavender dreams, baby. What can I do when a million things are running through? So I could go heavier with it, but I'm tapping to make it light because, like I said, this is the dark palette, and I don't want the transition to be too dark. So yeah, so now let's go to the light palette and put this transition in. For this one, I'm using a Morphe M456 brush, and here is the transition color. Things I can't undo. I just sleepwalk, I just sleep talk. That's all I got. Now immediately when I put this transition color on, I am definitely seeing a pink undertone. I am definitely seeing pink. What can I say with a million things I can't erase? Million people I can't save. I just sleepwalk, I just sleep talk. Don't wanna wake up. Now before I go any further though, and I think this crease is just enough the way I want it, the way I need it. And for my crease, we're gonna go back into the dark palette first. And I am going to be using this Sedona Lace EB15 brush. And here is the crease color. I do like this color. I'm just gonna take it over kind of midways on my crease. Tell me that you can see what I see, feeling wrapped up. I'm just building this color up. I really do like this color. In the warmth of Sunday, and then you guys know the drill. I'm gonna go back in, just tap a little bit on my brush for the transition, and just make sure I blend this out. In my honest opinion with this, I think on this dark palette that the transition color and the crease color are too close together. That's just my opinion, and that could be because I usually use a transition color that's around my skin tone. But yeah, so that's kind of what I think. So for my crease on this one, I'm going to use this Luxie 229 tapered blending brush, and here is the crease color right here. Same thing with this one. I think that the crease and the transition colors are too close together. Now this one does look a little bit cool tone, but it is not that much. There's not that much depth to it for real. There's not really much depth to that crease. color on the light, but I do like it because it's a soft color and it doesn't seem like it's not too far from the transition, which I guess that's the premise for both of them, for them to not be too far from the transition. Y'all, I need to go fix me something to drink. Give me a minute. Okay, y'all, so future Alethea, not editing Alethea, had to come back because once again I forgot to do my little shout out. I'm gonna get used to it. Bear with me, bear with me. On my video that's called BBL Epidemic, BBL Shaming, Normal Body Shaming, Bullying, Perfection is Brutal. I'm going to link that video in the card somewhere, however it goes. Link that video in the card. No, the cards are, if I'm turned this way. So when y'all see me, it's going to be like I'm this way, which means the cards are there. Yeah, okay. But here's the comment. And I think I'm going to copy and paste and put this comment here. It's by Absolute Cream. She says, great video, child, we can't do nothing. And that grammar was on purpose, LOL. So I think she's saying, child, we can't do nothing because of the double negative. Can't do nothing, can't and nothing. Double negative. Anyway, so then she says, we have a problem with the BBL. We have a problem with fat. We have a problem with comments. We have a problem with aging gracefully. We just have problems. I hope one day people can be honest with themselves and others about our insecurities and representation of who we personally are. We are doing it for others. We are doing it for ourselves. We are doing it for the person we would potentially lay with and from the hurts of the past. Let them do their thing and pray for their safety and health, which is so true. Because even one comment that I saw after I made that video where somebody said to me something about, and what do you say when the person dies? You grieve them if that's what happens. But people know the risk of surgery when they go in to have surgery. And just as I did. Girl, we ain't about to get on a discussion about this. But Absolute Cree, thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate it. And now back to your regularly scheduled program. Alright, so next, let's see. Where are we going next? Where are we going next? We're going to go with the smoky color. Smoke. Alright, so next I'm going to take this N205 by Nabla Cosmetics. Dreams, baby. And here's the smoke. I'm about to bring the smoke. And I'm just going to put this over here in the corner of my eye. Taking it up to the transition, to the crease just a little bit. Not doing a million things. Not too much. Now this right here, that one tab in there brought off a lot of color. So yeah, all right. So now, of course, you guys see that's not transitioning. That's not right. So I'm gonna go back with the transition color. Put a little bit on the brush. I'm just gonna blend these two together to get rid of that demarcation line. I just sleepwalk. I just sleep talk. That's all I got. Now this right here definitely, I mean, like I said, you can customize, you could do it however you want to, but for the girl that likes to use one or two colors, this is a great palette for that, but it also is not if you're not going to take advantage of all the colors here, because, you know, some people like simplicity, one or two colors. They don't put crease, transition, smoke. Some people don't do all that. I'm the type of girl that does that type of thing. So, all right, and so here's the smoke here in this palette, and I'm going to use, what is this? I'm going to use the Morphe M506 brush, and here's the smoke on this one. Can I say with a million things I can't erase, million people I can't save. So the premise for Natasha was, I'm going to assume, because I don't know what was going on in her mind, what the thought process was in creating these palettes, but I'm going to assume that it was, I mean, of course, it is to span from light to dark, from pale to dark. Let me put it that way. All on the spectrum, all colors and races, whatever, across the spectrum. So I mean, that has to be why there's a light and a dark. But I will tell you that the light, the palest person, the dark palette, in my honest opinion, going back with the transition color to blend this in, probably would look a bit muddy on their eyes with the dark. And then of course with the light, someone that is darker, someone that is darker than me, it may not work too much for them. I consider myself a medium tan person, not medium, but medium tan. some people, you know, claim that I'm lighter than what I am, and I know my complexion. Y'all can't tell me how light I am or how dark I am. I mean, y'all doing too much. Y'all doing entirely too much. All right, so let's see. Now we are going to go into our outer corner and our inner corner with our eyes. And so I'm going to use, for the dark side, the Dome eyeshadow brush, and I don't know who this is. This some basic brand, baby. Basic AF. BAF. Here is our outer corner color. Now these colors right here are for people that, doesn't look like it's picking up much. Okay, you gotta kind of wiggle the brush around in it. Yeah. Gotta kind of wiggle the brush around in it. But these are for people that use more than one color. Some people, and some of mine looks like that way, where you just use one shade across the lid. This one, you got two shades that are gonna go on your lid.
I just sleepwalk, I just sleep talk, don't wanna wake up.
I'm gonna make sure I blend those two together for a seamless blend. And before I go to the next color, I'm going to take this brush and just make sure they're blended together good. I didn't add any product. I'm just making sure that those two colors are blended. And so in the light palette, this Sedona Lace 305 brush, outer corner is right here. Same thing on this side. You kind of have to wiggle the brush in the outer corner a little bit. Now this one is more of a champagne-y gold type color, and this one is more of a bronzy type color. Alright, so now that that is done, y'all already know I'm about to go. Make sure I blend these two together. With this one, I'm going to have to pick up a little bit more color. Blend that together and kind of go here with it. Alright, and I'm going to take the same brush. I'm just going to wipe it off with my thingamajig right here. I love this thing. And then now we're going to go with the inner corner. And here is the inner corner color right here. And I kind of got to do the same thing with this one. Wiggle the brush around a little bit to kind of break that cast on it. Now this inner corner, it kind of reminds me of this one, this outer corner. Although this inner corner is a little bit more gold, has a little bit more gold to it than this one, but they kind of remind me, the inner corner reminds me of that outer corner over there. Alright, same thing over here. Gonna dilly-dally this brush. And let's take this inner corner, and the inner corner is here on this one. Now this one is more of a champagne-y type color. I think though, for the perfect look, mixing and matching these two palettes would just be like the tea. It would be the tea, mixing and matching. So we're done with the eyes for now. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do the bottom lid or not, because on a regular, like I said, for me, these would be regular everyday palettes that I may choose, that I would not make, but that I would choose to wear to work. And you guys know for my everyday work looks, I do not line my bottom line. I do not mascara. I do not do anything on my waterline. But when I'm making these videos, for the purposes of the videos, I do. And every now and again, when me and my wife are going out, I may. But for the most part, I'm a girl that just likes some lashes, some mascara, and nothing on the bottom. But for these looks, like I said, I will do that for these looks. But I haven't decided if I'm going to do that yet. So let me go ahead and work on this face. And then all right, y'all. So I've concealed, and before I finish the rest of my face, I'm going to come back. I wanted to come back and do the cream blush. Y'all, I had to highlight in areas I normally don't highlight because the foundation that I put on, girl, was too dark. It was too dark. All right, so here's the cream blush. And I'm just going to take it with my finger Dang nabbit, I snapped it with my nail. I'm just gonna put it here like I normally would a cream blush. And I always, once I powder my face, I still go and I put a powder blush over, even though I've done a cream blush. And then let's take this one from the light palette, and I'm gonna use this finger right here because I don't want it to look like I'm giving y'all the bird. Okay, so this is the pink rosy tone, and this one is more like a mauve type rose colored, I guess you could say. I'm going to take these two Sedona Lace 47 brushes. These are foundation brushes. I'm going to use these since I no longer use these for concealer because I started back using the blender about a month ago. So yeah, that's a light wash of color, so to speak. I like it. And then the dark one. Now I probably could have went a little heavier on the product, but I didn't want to. So this is fine for me. So I've done everything, and for the sake of this video, I am going to go ahead and do my waterline.
What can I do when I'm million?
All right, and so I'm going to take the brush that I use for my inner and outer colors. And I'm going to take this brush and I'm going to actually take this, well, I'm going to take the smoke color here, and I'm going to take the inner corner color, and those I'm going to smudge out on my waterline.
Million things I'm running through, million things I cannot do. I just sleepwalk, I just sleep talk. That's all I.
Same thing, of course, on this other side. Smoke color, and where's the inner color?
God, what can I say with a million things I can't erase? Million people I can't save.
All right, and I forgot the highlight, so I'm going to take the Star Glow right here, tap it with this brush, and kind of go over my cheekbone. Oh, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. Girl, did I use too much? Whew. All right, now let's take this brush. I'm gonna use the same brush. I'm just gonna wipe that one off, and then let's get the.
Just sleepwalk, I just sleep talk. Don't wanna wake up.
Ooh. I like both of these highlighters. Well, I will talk about the palettes in a moment, but I like that. So for my forehead, since I got this one open, I'm just gonna go ahead and go here with this and put a little glow here, a little bit down the bridge of my nose.
Things I don't know what to do.
And that's just a little bit too much. That's just ridiculous. I'm gonna take my powder brush and kind of go over it a little bit. Let's go ahead and wrap this up, and I'll be right back to give you my thoughts on these palettes. So I am back with the finished look, and I'll do some slow-mos and up close in a moment, but I am back with the completed look and to give you my thoughts. Let me tell y'all something. So first of all, I didn't want to put on any clothes, but I did put this shirt on for the sake of the video because I was gonna leave my little black tank top on, my little black cami, but I said, let me go ahead and put on a little shirt and some earrings or what have you. So here we are. Let's see. Dark palette, light palette. Now let me see if I can think of some questions that someone may want to know. First off, I keep dropping this one. I keep dropping this one. Okay, let's try this again. So first off, do you need both of these palettes? Hell no. Do you need either one of these palettes? Hell no. But I will say this. If you are a beginner, then, you know, I would say either one of these palettes, depending on your complexion, would be great for you to get. I will say that. For an experienced makeup artist or an experienced makeup enthusiast, does that person need these palettes? Not necessarily, because the thing about these palettes, in my honest opinion, is for them to teach you and guide you. So a beginner may need to be taught and guided on where to put the transition, where to put the crease and all that kind of stuff. But an experienced person at doing makeup, or even somebody that just doesn't care about that kind of stuff, no, you don't need it. The payoff. I do like the payoff of both of the palettes. I think both of the palettes did what they were supposed to do. The light did its light thing and the dark did its dark thing. It is what it is. Which one would I prefer? Would I prefer the dark one or would I prefer the light one? I would have to say, of course, I would prefer the dark one. However, because the light one does fit with me and my complexion, then fine. When it comes to the colors in here, the eyeshadow colors in the dark palette, let's just start with the dark palette. When it comes to the eyeshadow colors in this dark palette, I would say for me, on a regular basis, this transition color is it's a little too dark. I would say for me and my taste, I like a transition color that's more toward my skin tone. So I would prefer to use in this palette versus using the transition. I would actually prefer to use the crease color as a transition. So you see where I'm going here? You can kind of mix and match the two. Also, as far as the blushes with each one. Look at the blush and look at the highlight. Now, I said that I was going to go back over and use my powder blush, but I did not. I left it with the blush that is there. For both blushes, I do like both blushes. This one right here is really soft and subtle, and this one is soft as well, but not as subtle as this one. Now, could I have built it up? Yes, but I'm not one of those people that likes to have just like rosy ass cheeks. That's not me. That's not my thing. Now, as far as the outer corner and the inner corner and stuff, when it comes to these, I prefer the outer corner on this one more so than the outer corner on this one. I like this gold versus this bronze rose gold, almost, not, yeah, bronze rose gold type of color. Am I going to use it? Yes. Am I going to keep both of these palettes? That's another thing. Am I going to keep both of these palettes? As of right now, yes, I'm going to keep both of these palettes. If something happens in the next few days to make me change my mind, because I am going to try to use it a little bit and see, not use it too much because, you know, I'm not trying to use the stuff up and then send it back. But right now, yes, I am planning on keeping both of them because I do like both of these palettes. And also because I am about to declutter my palettes. So it's not like keeping these two is adding too many because, like I said, I'm about to get rid of some. I'm going to make a dedicated video to that. There is, like I said, some fallout with both of these palettes. And be mindful, be mindful, be mindful. If you are a person that does not like smudges and fingerprints on your palettes, then you need to go ahead and stay away from these because these are fingerprint prone. If there are any other questions that you have about these palettes, please do leave them in the description box and I will get back to you on them. But yeah, overall, I like these palettes. If you are someone that does not have any Natasha Denona palettes and you want to dabble in Natasha Denona, then I say go ahead and go for it and get one or the other. But be mindful. As I said, if you are darker than me, then I would suggest staying away from the light one. I honestly would. Y'all, why? Y'all see that? Why is my concealer coming all out the side? That's about to bother me. Well, but anyway, I guess that's it. My take on these palettes. I hope that was very thorough enough. If it wasn't, I do apologize. I was trying to be very thorough. I may have forgotten some things and some points and stuff like that, but I tried to hit on everything. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for coming to check out another video here on my channel. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video across all your social media sites. And as I always say, or I don't always say it, sometimes I say it, if there is something that you would like to see here on the channel, then please go ahead and leave that in the description box as well. Like y'all can write in my description box. Like y'all can. Leave that in the comment section as well. So with all that being said, until the next time in the between time, you ladies and gentlemen, be safe, and I will do what? Catch you on the flip side. Bye.
All they want is more.
What you say? I know what you want is written on your face, but you've been acting casual, just plain and safe. Talk Walking at your own discretion.